Hello and welcome back to another edition of Monday Night Raw out of 10 right here on the Wrestle Debate. Now I missed the whole Raw Underground thing last week and everything else that went on, so I'm actually quite looking forward to catching up and seeing what this whole madness is. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So the show kicked off with a contract signing between Rollins and Dominik. Samoa Joe was moderating it and he said it was shameful that Rollins would force Dominik into a match. Rollins played victim and then mocked Dom before telling him he can bring the kendo stick and any other weapon because he wouldn't last 10 seconds in the ring. They both signed a contract, then we went into a match between Rollins and Carrillo. Carrillo was unloading on Rollins before sending Carrillo into the barricades. Rollins returned to the ring as Dominik returned with a kendo stick and was hanging around at ringside. In the ring, Carrillo reversed a top rope move and before Murphy could interfere, Dominik took him down with the weapons. Rollins took advantage of the confusion and hit a powerbomb and followed by the stomp for the win. After the match, Murphy and Rollins attacked Dominik. He tried to fight back, but Rollins caught him with a kendo stick and kept beating him in the ring. They tied him to the ropes, and they just kept on beating him up with kendo sticks. I'm going to give this a 6.5 out of 10. Good match and good build for the show, so I can't complain. We then got a recap of what Retribution did over the last week. Then Selena Vega came to the ring and said she had nothing to do with Montez Ford's poisoning. Then we got into a match between Dawkins and Andrade. Angelo hit a dropkick and Andrade fled the ring for a breather. However, he came back in and took control, but Dawkins came back with an exploder suplex. Andrade then hit the double knees after a counter and went up for the top for a dive, but caught Dawkins' elbow. Dawkins went for the pin, but Zelina distracted the referee, and Bianca Belair came in and attacked Vega before Dawkins got the free count. We then moved on to Belair v Vega, despite Vega trying to run away, and this was quite a quick match. Bianca caught Vega in midair and hit a slam before unloading on Vega. Vega was being tossed around the ring before she sidestepped and sent Bianca into the ring post. Belair then hit a powerbomb and the KOD for the win. I'm going to give this a 6.25 out of 10. Just didn't really do much for me, and I don't understand how Montez Ford can recover from being poisoned in 3 weeks to get ready to SummerSlam. Yeah. MVP came to the ring and was moaning about how the lights going out cost him the US title. Apollo Crews laughed at him before we got Apollo Crews v Shelton Benjamin. Benjamin got a near fall early on after hitting Apollo with a powerbomb. Benjamin was trying his best to wear down Apollo in the ring, and it's quite a back and forth match really, until Crews missed a powerbomb but hit a power slam before following up with a standing moonsault for a near fall. However, a distraction from Lashley cost Apollo the match as Benjamin rolled him up for the win on Raw. Why would you pin your US champion? 6 out of 10. After the match, Lashley went for a full Nelson on Crews, but MVP stopped him in the fear he'd get injured for SummerSlam. Retribution then for a cinder block for a glass door. Wow. Mickie James was arguing with Lana and Natalya backstage. Good to see Mickie James back. And then the Viking Raiders versus Ricochet and Alexander v Tozawa and the Ninjas. Quick match. Ricochet kicked off the match with Ninja number 1 and then tagged in Cedric before Eric and Ivar came in and hit the Viking Experience on the Ninja to get a quick win. After Tozawa took his title and left the apron, R-Truth found him on the edge of the apron dressed as a ninja and rolled him up for the win. 6.25 because comedy in it. Backstage, McIntyre says Orton was past his best days before we came to the ring for Peyton Royce v Liv Morgan. Royce was dominating early on, but Morgan rolled her up for a near fall before hitting a kick. Kay tried to interfere, but Riot came up on the apron and stopped her. Royce managed to hit her finisher, while Morgan was distracted by the interference and picked up the win. After the match, Morgan made it clear that she was not happy with Riot's performance at ringside. This isn't really doing anything for me. 6 out of 10. Asuka was then facing Bayley. Asuka kicked Riot off with a drop kick and then took the early advantage, but was caught on the ropes by Bayley, who hit a suplex for a near fall. Asuka then slammed Bayley's head on the mat before sending her to the barricades outside. Back in the ring, Bayley was in control with a headlock, and the lights were again flickering. Asuka caught her with a backslide before hitting a kick, and then hit a German suplex and a hip attack for a near fall. We returned from the break to see Banks getting a distraction, letting Bayley get a load of shots in while the referee was distracted. Asuka was then caught in a submission and countered it into an ankle lock before hitting a double knee strike for a near fall. Bayley then hit an elbow drop for a near fall, and then Bayley hit a spinning kick before mocking Kyrie by showboating. Asuka was furious and locked the Asuka lock in, making Bayley tap out, and Asuka will face Sasha for the Raw Women's title at SummerSlam. 7 out of 10. This was really good. And then it was Raw Underground time. Hooray! Riddick Moss destroyed some bloke. Then a Brazilian former champ, Arturo Reyes, was pummeling another guy in the ring. He picked up the second Underground win of the show. And then Dabba-Kato was back for a second consecutive week and destroyed a guy using submission holds. Shayna Baszler then came out and attacked a random person before all the women came in and fought her. They all destroyed her. 5 out of 10. What's the point? Distribution then flipped a car in the parking lot and ran away. The absolute mad lads. Then Randy Orton v Kevin Owens. Owens was dominating early on and Randy had to flee the ring for a breather after hitting the mat. Owens hit a super kick in the ring and then the cannonball before Randy rolled out again. KO hit a second cannonball onto the barricades before we headed for a break, and the match continued, of course. Back on Raw, Owens hurt his shoulder at ringside before being smacked onto the barricades by Orton. Orton was in control for a little bit before Owens hit a senton and looked to be worn down by Randy's offense. Orton superplexed Owens into the announce desk before KO managed to kick out. Owens went for the stunner, but Orton reversed it into the RKO for the victory. And then after the match, Randy said he had to talk to Ric Flair. Back to it, Randy was mad at Flair and called him a liability, talking about his health issues. Flair said he took it very personally and said he wanted to see Orton beat his title record. Rick broke down and talked about being in a coma and waking up before Randy hugged him, only to hit a low blow. Randy was just about to punt him, but the lights went out, and Drew McIntyre came out and called Randy a son of a bitch. 7.5 out of 10. Randy's just an absolute beast at the moment, and this was just really good. And overall this week, Raw gets a 6.5 out of 10. Overall, a pretty average show, it has to be said. Not a lot of great stuff on there until we came to the last two matches, not Raw Underground. Kevin Owens v Randy, and especially the promo after, and Asuka v Sasha, another great match. That gets the grade up from probably a 6 to a 6.5 out of 10. Anyway guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. Remember to follow me on Twitter, link in the description below for daily wrestling news. And subscribe to my other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace!